Okay. Yay. Mwah. Official welcomes. Thank you for being here, and I deeply honor your practice. I honor your commitment. I honor all the work you do, and to be present, to drop into yourself, and all of that work. I honor it, and it's an honor to guide your practice tonight. So we're going to start right on our chairs, and we're going to set them up against the wall. You're going to need a couple blankets. If you don't have them, you'll grab them. And I just take a blanket and just throw it over the top, set it right against the wall so it's protected. Then we're going to take another blanket. Oh, this little dog is so cute right here between us. We might just have to stay here though. Okay. Then I'm going to take my blanket, and it's going to be this size, and I'm just going to fold it into its little sausage. And then you're going to take that little sausage and you're going to mold yourself a little seat, donut. I don't know, maybe they give you these in the hospital if you have a baby or something. So, and then you're going to put that on your chair. So roll it up and put it on your chair. We're going to sit on that. So then you're going to have handy your 2 blocks and your bolster. And behind this little donut, I know it's coming apart, but I'll fix it when I get there. I'm just going to put one of my blocks on its second height. Okay, I'm just going to tell you what we're going to do because I know we're all different heights, obviously. We're different heights. So if you're taller, you can, actually, I'll just get in it. You can watch me and then you can adjust your height. So I put that bolster on that height, and I'm going to put that block is on the second height. The bolster is going to sit on top of it like that. You can see. And then I have my other block I might use for my head. So I'll just leave it there for now. Then I'm going to just stick my butt at the bolster, hold it there, put the little donut in, and you might have to bring it up a bit. You kind of find that place. And then you can take the other block. You know, when I put my head back, I want to feel supported. But I'm going to put the second block on its lowest height down so that it actually, it comes out a little bit past the bolster, and I can get the back of the head in there. Then I feel like, oh, my head is in good alignment, and I'm here. Okay, so there we go. So I'll just come out of this and we'll do it again all together. So I'll put the little sausage that you've rolled on the chair. Right behind it is a block, maybe on the second height. If you're taller, you might put the block on its highest height. And is taller. And anyone else, they're tall. And then the bolster goes kind of right behind it. You're going to hold it. And then you put your butt to the bolster so it stays there. And you grab the little sides of your sausage, maneuver yourself in here. You know, and it takes like a little bit of wiggling, figure it out. And it should feel comfortable. Okay, so as you're getting in, I'm just gonna explain or talk about what you should be feeling a little bit. Once you're sitting on your sausage roll, I want you to feel the thigh bones are supported, and that your tailbone has space, it has room. So like if you did a little bit of a cat-cow, you're like, oh, okay, I can move my tailbone. Then we have all this space in the inner thighs, the pelvic floor. And okay, so I'll come back to that. Set your feet at a comfortable place for you. That might be a little wider. They might turn out a little bit. You know, I have mine pointing straight and I have my knees over my ankles. But my feet are a little bit wider, and I'm just dropping the knees out a little bit. But that's, you know, whatever's comfortable. Then the other block, I'm just going to place it behind my head. I'm putting it on the first, like the flattest side. Okay, and then once you're here, then we're just going to release the breath. You can turn your palms up, rest them maybe even closer to your thigh crease, hip crease. And feel that the shoulders can drop. You can release your pelvic floor. Let your jaw drop. Okay. Make any adjustments. If your feet, your knees, you need to maybe turn your heels out a little bit. I'm not sure, whatever you play. And you find that place like you're a little explorer. Where can I be my most comfortable here? And we're going to invite this downward energy in. So exactly as you are, just keeping the body content. It's going to take the arms, take the hands like a little bit out to the side, palms will face up, and you're just going to reach up, and you can have the arms can be soft. As you come up like a little ballerina, let your palms face down, maybe even a bend in your elbows. And then inhale and exhale, maybe through the nose or the mouth, and descend the hands down. And they don't have to touch you. They're just going to come down. If you finish your exhale on the way, you could pause there, inhale, and then continue to descend. And as you descend, feel you can melt your whole pelvic floor. And then you'll just, once you get to the bottom, just find the place to kind of bring the arms back up. Nice and soft, not extending so strongly like we normally do. Just letting everything happen here, moving with your breath. Inviting this energy surrounding you to just descend from the head all the way down. And this time as your hands come down, if you're in the middle of one finish, let the palms face down on your thighs somewhere. Just drop in as much as you can, just bringing your awareness inside. Feel this body supported so much. Feeling your thighs heavy on the blanket, pelvic floor releasing down. Just feeling you can let go, let the shoulders go. And bring a little bit of movement and conscious connection into this. So as you inhale next time, just feel the breath rise up, and there's a little arch in your back maybe. You press the back of the head to the block, the heart to the block. And as you exhale and release the breath, you can even feel your mid-back almost press back. So you're just finding this little cat-cow. And if you'd like to bring one hand to just, rest on your belly lightly, or even the fingertips, just a light touch. And to just feel this very gentle oscillation, your spine, your breath, using all of these props as feedback. You can feel as you lift the chest, arch the back, the thighs engage more deeply. And as you bring the mid-back back into this version of cat, you can really press into your bolster. You might even notice your feet engage. Notice how you get a little taller and a little smaller. You notice if you're using your pelvic floor muscles. Nothing wrong with that. Just notice when you're using them, how you're using them. And we're going to engage the pelvic floor muscles together consciously. So inhale, and now as you exhale, you take the belly back. Start to lift up the pelvic floor muscles, front of the pubis, right to the navel. And as you exhale, let that go and arch your back. And as you inhale and take the back, lift the pelvic floor muscles. Yes. And next time you take the belly back, you're going to lift the pelvic floor muscles. Draw right, like up and right back to your navel. Soften your jaw. Breathe normally, even as you hold that. And then exhale and slowly release it. And just come to neutral, whatever neutral is. And release your right hand back out. Drop both arms down by your sides. And just be here. Allow the body to soften. So maybe you feel the bolster behind you. And as you inhale, we're going to open the arms out to the side. Again, the fingers can be soft. And then go all the way up over your head. Okay, stay here. Exhale and inhale. Just keep breathing. And now you're going to start to add the arms. So as you inhale, reach up. The back might arch. You might even have your fingers touch the wall. And as you exhale, keep your hands where they are if you can. And drop in. So maybe you can't, but that's okay. And then just inhale, reaching. And exhale, finding that bit of cat pose. So you inhale to cow, reach the arms up. Even push the back of the head in. Then exhale, drop, but keep the arms lifted. Do one more. And then exhale, release the arms in front of you. Take the hands to rest on the thighs and just pause. Okay. Take your hands up and take that block behind your head out if you put it in there. And I'm just going to put it on the floor, just anywhere right between the legs is fine. Okay, then we're just going to reach behind. You're going to take out your bolster. You're going to put that on your lap. And then you're going to reach back and grab the other block. And we're going to take that and put it on the floor. Now wiggle back in your chair. You can take the sausage back and maybe readjust it and find a place. You know, if it didn't, you know, you can even move the sausage back a bit with your thighs forward a little bit if that might feel better. You play. You're the explorer. Okay, now we take this bolster. We're just going to place it right on the belly. You're going to lift your belly up. You can even take your hand and just swoop the belly up. And then bring yourself over. And you might be forearms here. You know, you kind of see. Maybe the chest comes onto the bolster, hands onto the blocks. You might widen the feet a little bit. You know, you can wiggle your tush, readjust your sausage. So take the time. I'm using a lot of props. So you find where you are. Okay, now I can't drop my head down, but I'm just going to keep it up. So I'm looking straight down. If my eyes were open, I'd be looking straight down. The back of the neck is long. Okay, and if you're up here, wherever you are, you can find that same idea of back of the neck long. Okay, so just take a few moments, adjust, feel, breathe into this, and slowly let your arms bend and yourself descend. And coming into that place where you feel okay, and you might tuck the girls in a little bit if that helps. To create some space for the chin if that's an issue. And just let the legs heavy, the belly heavy, the jaw, the shoulders. If you need to support your head, you can even, with the arms over the bolster, I could bring the palms together and rest the forehead on my thumbs. So that might feel really nice for your neck if you need that. You know, if you're going to try that, you can also take the shoulders a little bit away from the ears, or you can keep your hands on your block, whichever feels nice, and the head dropping. You know, either head up if that's better for you, if you have high blood pressure or something that prevents you from putting your head down. It's just descending and breathing. Okay, I'm going to change this just a little bit. And you yogis, you can stay exactly as you are, or you just walk your blocks forward a little bit more so the arms are extended. And I'm not putting any weight. I'm just resting my hands on the blocks. The legs are comfortable. Tuck my chin in a little bit. And just breathe into your back. Listen to the sound of your breath. And we're here for about another 5 to 10 breaths. So if it's not comfortable with the arms extended, or if you need to make any adjustments, then make it so you can just fall asleep here. Just feel the breath doing its work. Pelvic floor open. The thighs supported. Belly, chest supported. Head, if it's hanging, just let it go. Eyes soft. So it's moving very slowly. If you had the arms extended, bring them in. And just come up to that halfway point we started with, so that you feel, if you're looking at the floor, the arms are maybe straight, holding onto the blocks, or you have your forearms on your bolster. Your eyes can be closed. Just feel your breath. Soften your pelvic floor. Okay. And then from here, you just open your eyes a little bit. Just going to take the blocks and you're going to put them on their lowest height. So on the lowest height. Okay. And then come to sit up, and you're going to place your feet on the blocks. So you might walk them in. I just kind of pulled them in with my feet. I'm going to take a few moments and just maybe walk them out to the sides, maybe even turn out a little bit. Just find that place where you feel comfortable with your legs. If you want to take the donut out, you can take that out. Otherwise, it's there, and hopefully it's okay. Okay, so now we have the legs a little higher. I'm going to come back into this forward fold and just start to maybe drop my arms over if that works. If it's no good for you, you honor yourself by being where you need to be. And then let your head go. And soften in your forehead consciously. And so stay here and just want to direct your awareness to your breath. I want you to feel your breathing in your pelvic bowl. Just feeling that the bowl is open as you inhale, and it's just a slight oscillation right into the pelvic bowl, right into the base of you, all the way. Just going to change this a little bit, so you can walk your hands onto your bolster, and then push into the bolster and come up. And let's just sit. You can just rest your hands on or arms on the bolster. You can lean back if you like. Close your eyes or just rest your gaze. And we're just going to do one more and then we'll come up. So I'm just going to take this bolster now and just put it down so it's flat on the floor. And you're going to play with your bolster where it's going to go. We're going to rest the forehead on the bolster with the skin of the forehead coming down. So as you come down, you might walk the bolster out if you can go deeper, bring the bolster in. You might even use your hands at the top of the bolster to just hold it and draw the skin of the forehead down. So you kind of play. You might even interlace your fingers if you have a sturdy bolster. I'm just bending my bolster towards me a little bit. And then I can find a place where my forehead is supported. And now I'm going to drop my arms to the outside of the knees or outside of the thighs. And we're just going to come back to the breath. So, again, if this is too deep for you, you can use your hands, your elbows on your thighs even, and just support your head. Drop in and breathe. Feel the eyes heavy. Soften in any place that's talking to you. You can keep your arms where they are, or maybe you start to reach your hands up and grab hold of the legs of the chair, or the side of the chair, maybe where the attachment is between the two legs. Just breathe and release into your pelvic bowl as you are. And breathe. Feel that this is child's pose in so many ways. Expand your breath wherever you're feeling it. Okay, and you can take your hands back and just hold the bolster as you take the head off. And we'll just take the feet off the blocks and set your bolster aside. Take this little donut out and just lay it on your lap. And just take a moment to just feel yourself here, just sitting as you are. And close your eyes, rest your hands, and just feel everything that you've done. Okay, and slowly open your eyes. I'm just going to move my blocks so they don't impede your view, but you can keep them where they are. Just going to stretch the legs out. Just come forward on your chair. Actually, I'll just take my blanket off, but you can keep it there too, just for niceness. I'm going to take my hands and reach back and just stretch the legs out. And we'll just move the feet in and out, circle. Okay, I'm going to come to forward fold here. So you might wiggle your tush back. You're going to see, like, so I'm sitting like with the insertion point, the hip points to where tush becomes thigh is right at the edge of the chair. And I'm just going to reach back and just take a little lean forward here. And the back of my chair is lifting up off the floor. I'm not scared it's going to go anywhere. I'm just going to breathe. If this is too much, bend your knees and come forward. It's all fine. I'm just taking this opportunity for a little leg stretch. Open your heart. Pull the chin in. Breathe. Okay, so I can feel that point where the chair is, and I'm using that as a little bit of feedback. And then pull yourself to your chair. Bring your feet down. Good. Okay. And then we'll just come back on the chair. We're just going to do one forward fold without props. So I'll open the feet nice and wide. Wiggle your tush right to the back of your chair. And then hands on your thighs, lift up. Now you have your blocks and they're handy. So you can pull them in and put your hands there if you need to. And then as I put my hands down, I wiggle my tush back more. I might even open my knees out. I say I might even, but I'm doing that. I'm pressing the knees out, engaging the feet, lengthening, and then you might stay here and just breathe. But if you can drop down and let the head go, and you might just stay here, or you might take your hands back and grab that back rung. But it's all good. So my upper chest, no, the chest isn't on the chair, but everything from chest below is on my chair seat. I'm just dropping in, breathing. Now the breath is going to be more maybe in the upper back, mid back. And just soften what you can, your shoulders, your jaw, your eyes. Okay, release. See if you're holding the back rung, hands come back to the floor or to your blocks. Lift your chest and then take the hands to the seat of the chair and come up. And then just lean back in the chair, even though we're right against the wall. You can walk your legs in. And now I'm just going to allow myself to kind of sink like a bit of cat pose so that you round forward and you're here. Okay, and then we'll lift up. Okay, so we're going to do a little back bending here. So I'll just scooch myself forward, take your hands onto the sides of your chair, open your heart, okay, and then be here. So you can lift your tush up off the chair. I'm going to just take off my sweater so we can actually see what's happening. Just take your tush off the chair, and if you want to lift your hips up, then go for it, or just bring the tush back down so you can lift the hips here. Tush back on the chair. Take a moment, and then we'll do that again. So open the heart, hands are on the chair, slide the tush off, and it feels okay to do a little lifting. And then come back, and one more time. So take your time, open your heart, slide off your chair, lift up, and come back. Okay, good. All right, we're going to come up to standing. So I'm going to feel my feet. Notice what you do when I say standing. What's the first thing? You arch your back, send your weight forward, take your arms forward or reach up, lift up through the belly, the pelvic floor, rise up, and release your arms. Good. Let's turn around, face the chair. We'll just do a little downward dog. You just put the heels of your hands on the chair, wrap around the outside, and just step your feet back. And then as you go back, the hands are going to turn. You might have the palms flat. Bend your knees, send the weight back. You want to straighten your legs, that's fine. Maybe we pull one hip back, bend the opposite knee. And we'll do that with the other side. So you're just almost like moving your hips side to side. Good. Okay, come up, turn your hands back out, walk your feet towards the chair, and we're coming for a squat. So I open the feet almost as wide as the mat, turn the toes out, heels in, and exhale, start to come down. And you might pause here. You might put your hands right on the chair. You might tuck your chin and rest the hairline at the chair. Or just be here, wherever feels okay. If you need to come forward, if you need to walk your feet back. And your version is, whatever it is, you're doing it. We did all this deep hip crease work. Let's feel the familiarity a little bit. Soften your pelvic floor like you did on your donut. Okay, we're here for 2 more breaths. If you need to come out, A-okay. And then just release yourself. And we're going to come to sit. Maybe you need to use your hands, or you just boop, take the tush down. Good. Okay, stretch your legs out. Move them around. We're just going to come back to another chest opener. We just did that little lift. So you have all your stuff. So you're going to take your bolster, and it's just going to go not right against the legs, but a little bit in front. And then you're going to take, again, I'm going to show you the pose so that you know how many blocks you need. Okay, so I'm going to put one block on the chair. You might do two. I'm going to take a little blanket and just put it on top to make it nice. Then I sit on the bolster. Oh, I did this in Virasana. Okay, let's see. I'm going to do it in Virasana. Just show you how that looks, and then I'll show you modifications. So, here's Virasana. My shins are on either side of the bolster. Take it back, sit here, and again, if it's too much, you just throw a block on top of the bolster and sit. Then I'm just going to lean back. Oh, already feels so good. Okay, now I want to be able to take my head back. So maybe I'll have to adjust the block. So I take the block, and I know I can take my head to the block and be very happy here. But I have the block on the lowest height. This is where you might, go higher and support your head. You don't even maybe need the blanket on the block. So you kind of find your place here. Okay, if Virasana is like not a possibility at all, then that's a-okay. You just can sit. You can stretch your legs out, or you can bring them into Baddha Konasana, soles of the feet together, and then you just use other blankets to kind of prop up your knees. And come back and find your little back bend here. So these poses, are like restorative poses, where if you come in, you're like, oh, that doesn't feel good. I'm going to make my blanket thicker here, or move my block. You take the time. It's like getting to know a good friend. Hello, good friend. I remember you. From the last time I did this pose. If you can sit cross-legged too, that's lovely. So, whichever one. Good. Okay. So I'm just going to put myself back in Virasana, trusting that you're taking good care of you, right? Because if you're not in it, you're in it, and it's like, oh, this feels terrible. And that's all you think about. So take the time, adjust. You need another blanket. Something doesn't feel right. You need another higher sit, even another blanket on top of your bolster. Could be good, whatever you need. Okay, so now here's where we find the arms, because we have the back, the chair, the shoulder, the chair edge is in your shoulder blades. And if you move your arms, you're going to feel the shoulder blades, and some place might feel good and some place might feel really good. And so I'm just going to encourage you to move your arms maybe out to the side. Maybe you bend at the elbow a little bit, like we're lying on the floor. Backs of the hands to the floor. You go, oh, how's that? That's great. That's no good. Oh, maybe I'll hold on to these sides of the chair. That's going to really open the pecs and the front here. Do I like that? Yes, I do. And I'll breathe here. Okay, so you take like 4 or 5 breaths in all these different positions, even reaching your arms over your head, and you're right against the wall. Maybe the thumb and the index touch the wall. Whatever feels good. Just playing with all of these places. And feeling your heart space opening. Dropping into your jaw. Your quiet. In this receiving pose. Okay, if you aren't cross-legged, you might change the cross of your legs now. Nice smile. And now just putting your arms into a place that feels comfortable. So for me, I have the arms straight up over my head. I like that. But you can also have them palms out sitting on your thighs. Resting on your heart, your belly. And then the palms together, resting on the third eye. Just drop into your stillness. And move into our final few breaths. So you can keep your arms where they are, but if they want to come down, maybe they rest on your feet if you're in Virasana, your heels, your thighs, wherever it is. Okay, and then to come out of this, I'm going to take the hands back and use the hands to lift the head up and bring the chin towards the chest. Then I'll take my hands down to the floor or to the legs of the chair and push the chair away, the floor away, rise up. Just pause, if you're in Virasana and you need to get out of it, and just, you might take a downward dog or just stretch, but if you can just be here and breathe, just allow all of that opening to be received. Okay. Well, I feel this is, sometimes the poses just speak to me. So the next one, I'm just going to take the block and the blanket off of the back of the chair. I'm going to come into a downward facing dog. And again, no surprises. So I'm just going to show this. Come into my dog. I'm going to walk my heels up the legs of the chair. I've narrowed my hands in, and I might just stay here, or I might take one foot to the chair, the other foot to the chair, and take a little handstand. But it's all good. The chair's not going to go anywhere. So you do what feels good. You might just start with just the heels, middle of the heels on the legs of the chair, hands down, knees bent or legs straight. Look at the chair, look at your legs, and then if you feel like, okay, I'm going to try this, take one foot to the middle of the chair, and then the other foot up, and then you find your place. It's a little slippery. So you got to use your toes and your feet. Breathe. And then we'll step down. Good. Okay. Just going to take my tush to the chair, come back to this forward fold. So slowly lower tush to the chair. Maybe you slide your tush back. Maybe you want to walk your legs out. Hands on your blocks or on the floor. And just release your head. If that's okay, if it's no good, keep your head lifted. But if you just did downward dog and legs on the chair or feet on the chair, handstand variation, then you're probably okay with your head dropping. Good. And take one more breath. And then use your hands on your thighs, your knees. Bring yourself up and just pause here. Just feel. You can sit. If you want to lean back on your chair, do that. And just be with your breath. Good. Okay. So we'll do one more. And adventurers and yogi explorers. So you're going to come off your chair. And we're going to take the chair and we just turn it so that the chair is looking down and you have the top of the chair right against the base of your wall, just like that. Okay, I'm excited to share this. So then from here, I'm going to take I'm going to take a block. Let me see. No, I'm just going to go bolster. Okay, I'm just going to put the bolster. Oh, I don't know what we're going to do. We're going to take a block. Now you're on your yoga mat. You're just gonna lift the edge off and just put that block, the center of the block, just underneath your chair. Let me turn this down so I can make sure for sure you can see. Okay. Then I take the bolster and I'm just gonna put it into the seat of the chair. I realize we all have different chairs, so I hope this is working. So I just have the bolster up. I have this block underneath the chair. Okay, no surprises. I'm just gonna let you watch me first. I'm just gonna come in here. Oh, it's gonna feel so good. So I'm just gonna run through this super fast and we'll go through it slow. We'll hang out here, feel this, make adjustments, if you need a blanket, whatever you need. Then the hands are gonna come here. I'm just gonna start to push up. And I might just come here and go back down. I might kind of wiggle my arms over the chair and keep going into this little, oh, nice little back bend. But I'm fully supported. And then I'll lower down, nice and slow. Hands back to the legs of the chair here. Touch down. Nothing happened. It was so nice. Okay, so that's what we're gonna do. So now you know. So you can sit behind. You know, I feel like I might want a blanket, just, you know, for cushioning. Just put it just like that. And then I think that'll be good. Okay. Good. Nice. I was ready for liftoff. Okay, so just get yourself comfy in your little chair thing. Hopefully we can all fit because we all have different chairs. So hopefully this works. And then your hands will just rest on these legs. I'm just going to share one more thing today. I took paper towel and a bit of essential oil and wiped down all the legs and the ends of my chair. It smells so nice. So, okay, be here. Can move your chair, you know, feel it's right against the wall. Your head hopefully is supported by your bolster. And then just feeling your feet, you might walk them in. Feel yourself, you can press your shoulders against the bolster. And when you feel ready for liftoff, then the hands on the legs are going to push at the same time as you push your head back. And you're just going to come up. And as you come up, and the arms might have to reach through the legs of the chair. Nice. Oh, and your arms can come all the way up to the wall. And then you might even walk your hands down the wall. If that works for you, you know, you maybe take a little, oh, I'm in back bend. Oh, yay. And then whenever you're ready, you know, you come out so slow. You control it with the arms, the legs, the hands come back and find those rungs or whatever you call these legs of the chair. You find your way out. This chair's a little tight for heart, but yay, okay. Wow. Feel that. You just did a back bend. So, you know, so nice. Let's do it twice. So feel, take your time. You've already done it, so you start to push in. Oh, maybe as you come up this time, you might even walk your feet forward a bit. And then you can, you know, I'm just wiggling my feet forward. I'm pushing away. Oh, I'm sliding over the bolster a little bit. Feels so good. So you can play with it, explore it. No, you know, the chair's not going anywhere. You're not going anywhere. You're in control this whole time. Oh, I wish we were all in the same room together. I'd be like so excited for you all. I'm the biggest cheerleader. And then just release, rest. Okay, now you kind of know it. You're like, oh yeah, okay, I'm an expert. I've done it twice already. I know exactly how I can move. So now I'm gonna just maybe explore a little deeper. That could be just walking the legs out again. Or you just sit and just go, okay, that was fun, Joe. But all right, let's do it a third time. So hands down, I'm holding on it, take the shoulders back, wiggle, release the breath, like nothing's gonna happen. And then start to take yourself up and in. You might even walk your legs forward, push the feet away. Oh, that chest is coming over more. And reach all the way down. Oh, so good. Oh, you know, whatever you can do. You can even take your arms out to the side and be on the fingers. So nice, like a little tarantula. And then, oh, so slowly, whenever you're ready, Come out. And we rest. And we breathe. Let's do a little windshield wiper. Just rock your knees side to side. I know you might, I'm rolling forward. That's all fine. All right. And we'll come back and just push into the legs of the feet of the chair and come up. Good. All right, so nice. Yay, thank you guys. That was awesome. All right, we're just gonna take a wide-legged forward fold. So you might use a blanket to sit on. Get them to take our
Your pause.
wherever you like.
Your pause,
you can go really deep. You can just put the bolster, underneath that top rung, and then you have some space to drop in. You could also put another blanket on top of your bolster. Take your time. Once you're in it, go, what do I need to do to be happy? If you're sitting on something, try and bring back that idea of the little donut. So the tailbone is free. Good. And then you rest your arms, whatever feels good. I actually have my arms resting on the insides of the legs of the chair. Or you might stretch your arms through, just kind of find your place. Bring the skin of the forehead down no matter how you are. So if it's too deep, you could rest your elbows on the bolster and the palms are together and you support your third eye. So you find a way to be comfortable here and to invite in that whole idea of descending energy. Even feeling that as you exhale, that energy is just drawing down. Okay, so we've been in this pose now for a few moments. We're just going to re-lengthen and come back in. So you might even just come all the way up to sitting, or just inhale, press the sit bones down, lengthen, and bring yourself back in. And just inviting more of the chest, the belly to come forward. But if that doesn't happen today, it's all beautiful and fine. Just breathing. Let your feet relax, your legs relax, your pelvic floor relax. Just moving into your final few breaths here. Just pressing yourself upright. Okay. So from here, I'm just going to bring the legs into seated, and I'm just going to do a twist. just to release the back bend. And you can use your chair. So you're just facing your chair exactly as you are. So let's take the left hand behind and the right hand across, and you can just maybe hold your bolster, hold the edge of your chair and turn. And just breathe here. Let's even close your eyes. Take one more full breath in. And then we'll breathe out and release. Pause for a full breath in and out. Take the right hand behind, left hand over to hold the side of the chair or anywhere, that you can almost push into the chair and turn a little bit more. Just breathing as you are. And then release. Okay. We're going to move into Shavasana. And I don't want to overwhelm you with ideas of ways to do Shavasana, but we have the bolster here. And so however you have your bolster, if this is comfortable for you, again, I'm just going to do it super quick. You can see I'm just going to use the bolster as legs up the wall. But what I'll do is I'm just going to wrap my legs up so that they stay together. And I'll come down. So this is number one. If you like, maybe, this is pretty nice. So this is pretty good. The other thing I was going to say is that, if you want to turn it around into a Shavasana too, where you have the bolster. So I'll keep the little block underneath and I just put the bolster down on the floor and back. I might put a blanket there for my head, but this is pretty sweet too. You might really like this. And then the other thing I was going to say was just the way we've been doing it with legs on the chair, but this feels really nice. And Heart's going to do the other one. That feels nice. Yeah, whenever, take this exploration and play. So you take the time to kind of go, okay, well, how's this? Can I be relaxed? And if you're like, yeah, I think so, or maybe not. And then you can come out of the chair completely and just lie down. I do have this other blanket here. So I put my feet on it. I'm going to tuck the feet in. This dog is already crimpy. Okay. I'm just dropping into your version if you want an eye pillow. So however you've chosen to rest, it's committing to that and opening yourself to receive. Whichever shape you're in, just offering yourself this grounding. Just feeling the parts of you that are heavy on the earth, and the parts of you that are gently supported. However you have positioned yourself, just releasing more deeply into your rest. Just feeling your breath. Just breathing into the full circumference of your torso. So you feel the breath expand through the sides, front, the back, the top, the bottom. Just consciously inviting the breath to expand you in all directions, to descend you in all directions. Staying with that breath for a few more rounds. And releasing yourself to normal breathing. Choosing to stay in your rest for as long as you like. This feels very healing and nourishing, nurturing. Then extend your stay. You have to have a late checkout. If you're ready to come out, just starting to find those very slow, loving, gentle movements. You might still feel the chair, but maybe you can use that to your advantage as you find ways to stretch yourself out. And if you're lying with your back on the bolster, then it's a little difficult to come into the fetal position without first sitting up. So do that with your eyes closed and still move yourself into the fetal position for a breath or two. You can rest your head on the bolster. So we just take that time in the in-between. Journeying your way to sitting if you're coming up, or just staying as you are is fine. Let's take a few moments, and I'm just going to bring the hands one inside the other, touch the thumb pads together, and then extend the index fingers. And I'll just lay that in my lap somewhere. You could also interlace the 3 fingers behind, or just hold them like that. And just bow your chin slightly to all that you are, all that you have shifted and experienced and explored, and to the effects of your practice. Just feeling all of that, the quality of your breath, your energy, your presence. I'm going to do things a little differently. I'm going to have you bring your hands up in front of your mouth. Take a nice full breath in. Breathe into your hands. Hold your breath like it's something so precious. Send in your greatest loving energy. Just feel that energy flowing from your heart, from your mind, from your throat. And then receive this into your body. So these hands are going to go anywhere they go. Just place them on your being and receive your own love. And just feeling into self-care. I'm going to keep the hands where they are. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale as you are. And seal this practice with a very quiet Om. Just inhale. Bow your chin. Place your hands on the floor. Walk yourself forward. offer this practice. You can bow, you might bring the palms together. Rising up as you feel ready, palms at your heart. Open your eyes. Shanti and peace. Namaste, my friends. Thank you so much, you guys, for playing with me and exploring. I really appreciate it. Have a beautiful, beautiful night. I'll see you very soon. I love you. Thank you. I honor you. I appreciate you.